What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a little bit. Like they say, there's no perfect time to start, and there's no time like the present. So, as we go along on these podcast episodes, they'll get smoother and better, and everyone starts somewhere. And I have had a podcast before, but I want it to be more consolidated. I'm going to be uploading all of these episodes, at least for the foreseeable future, on this channel because I want everything consolidated into one channel for now. We will still be uploading van life, truck life content, so excited about that. Today is day 287 of freedom and post-liberation, and you might be asking, well, what do you mean by that? Well, it's simple. And the girlfriend and I have been together longer than that. We've been together since June of 24, so about 500 days or so, give or take. And what I mean by freedom and post-liberation is we're out on our own. We're making our own money. We're not living at home in our 40s. My uncle lives at home and he's 46. And, as I always say, wish him all the best. But, I'm 28. I moved out. I was like 23, 24. Now, I know, obviously, some people move out at 18. But, different strokes for different folks, as they say. But I'm just happy that I moved out when I did. Granted, I still do talk to my family, but I just, you get to a certain age, you don't want to live at home anymore. You want to be out on your own, making it on your own. And you especially don't want to live with armchair critic, armchair quarterbacks, as they say. People that don't know what you're, or don't understand your goals, right? For example, talked to my great uncle the other day, actually today, and he said his friend got into a car accident. Don't worry, he's fine. But it was a 20. The type of vehicle doesn't matter. Sorry, there's people walking. There's a hiking trail over there. 2013 Toyota Tacoma, and apparently he got a $26,000 payout. And then what does he do? He goes and finances a $50,000 truck. Now, this is just me. I'm not judging. It's an observation. That's how you stay in debt and you stay average. And he retired a couple years ago. And, again, he can do what he wants. It's his money. But what I would personally do, okay, $26K. I would probably invest half of that, and the other half, so you have $13K roughly, give or take, buy a reliable used truck. I don't even have $13K into my truck. Granted, my truck's a 97. I probably have 6 or 7K into it, but that's a video for another, or story for another video for another time. Don't get me wrong, the first of all, the van is driving great. Our mechanic rebuilt the engine, him and his buddy, total for $50 an hour, just flat rate, and then he paid him, I guess, so just not 50 per person, but 50 an hour. You might start charging more for vans simply because in a van you got to take off the doghouse cover by the center console. You can't exactly just work on it under the hood. You got to do both, unlike a car or a truck. And some full-size buses are like that. If they don't have the nose, and if it's just a pain, it's a hassle. I've seen videos on it. Anyway, the van's running good. As you guys know, we got that rebuilt in December of 24, Freedom and Post-Liberation Month, when we moved on winter solstice of 2024. Pretty cool. Coming up on a year, because it's October already, and the temps are pretty great. Anyway, back to the truck. I've had that truck for 2.5 years, and I've had the transmission rebuilt, brakes, suspension, wear parts, so it runs pretty smooth. New all-terrain tires I got a couple years back. Got the camper shell for $350. I bought some new locks and latches for it which were like $20-$25 or so on Amazon. That way I can lock it, because I didn't have keys for it, so I couldn't lock it up, and obviously a locksmith is going to charge more. than what I spent for the new latches, which came with 2 sets of keys, 4 total, and even got those dust covers. I mean, whatever, who knows how long those will stay on there. But been doing some small electrical work, wiring up my third brake light, which I bought a universal one for like $15, so that's not bad. And I've gotten better at 12-volt wiring. We replaced the window motor and regulator on the driver's side, wired up my own switch, which now that I've done it once, it's pretty easy and simple to do. The original third brake light, not on the truck itself, that one's fine, but I did cut the wiring so I could splice it into the third brake light on the camper shell that I bought. However, the reason I bought another third brake light for $15 is because the original one was super sun faded. The wires were too short to really splice into anything, so I just like took it off of there basically, and good call there. But yeah, man, I don't want these podcasts to go on too long. Again, I'm feeling it out. Let me know what a good length is for the podcast. They could be as short as 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, or 30, an hour. Joe Rogan, obviously, he's had podcast episodes that have been 4 or 5 hours or so, I think. Obviously, way too long for what I want to do. Way too long for at this point in time, but definitely under an hour, I would say. Maybe 30-ish, 15 to 30, I was thinking. But I wanted to quit procrastinating, and I wanted to get on here and actually film and make it happen. So as far as we're going to have more van and truck life content as well. But yeah, the girlfriend and I are doing well. As far as work goes, well, first of all, if you guys would like to donate to the channel, I appreciate it. I have appreciated all the support so far, all the donations. And once I'm done here, I'm going to edit this up and everything. I got work in about an hour or so. But as for work, I've been at my current job for over 2 months now. And it's not retail, which I like. Personally, it's caregiving, and I do overnights. They also have day shifts, but I kind of almost prefer overnights because day shifts are only like 7 hours. Overnights range from 11 to 13 hours. Longest I've done is 15 and a half just to cover, because I did I think I did a day shift and then basically a double followed by a night shift, or at least covered part of it. Yeah, man. Right now, I'm in this Honda Accord. We might sell it. We might keep it. Probably going to keep it for now because it's a good beater car to put the miles on around town while we're working and just going on food runs and groceries and stuff like that. But another thing I'm fixing on the truck is in 97 and up to I don't know, 04, 08, 09, whenever it was. I looked it up, I researched it, but the HVAC runs off of vacuum. So my AC is charged, works great. Heater core needs replaced, but that's a separate story. But the AC, it only blows through the defrost vents. And I looked it up, and that is because there's a vacuum leak somewhere. So there's many ways to find out where that vacuum leak is coming from. Not a big deal. I replaced a couple vacuum hoses, pretty cheap. The check valve is the next thing. Again, another cheap part, and then maybe the vacuum reservoir, which stores vacuum, because at first it defaults to defrost for safety, so you can defrost your windshield. But obviously that means the air is not blowing out of the vents. A little bit annoying, obviously. So the next thing, check valve is cheap. Possibly the vacuum reservoir, which stores vacuum when you're accelerating or whatever. I'm 99% sure it's not the intake manifold, because if it was, I would have rough idle, fluctuating idle, high or low, whatever. It would run rough, possible misfires. But engine side of things, it's running fine. So it's somewhere within the HVAC system. I don't want to just throw parts at it, but since they're pretty cheap and I've already placed a few vacuum lines, I can also use carb cleaner or brake cleaner, I believe, and you can spray it, or you can do a smoke test. But I'd rather obviously figure it out myself. I do have the repair manual and all that, but as opposed to taking it into a shop for 100, 150 bucks an hour labor. So I'm glad our mechanic buddy was able to rebuild the van for 50 bucks an hour, and we've put, I don't know, 6K miles on it since then. So sorry, I was seeing if someone's walking over here. I'm over by a hiking trail. Anyway, here, I'll turn this light off because I don't want it's just someone walking by in freaking green and red and whatever sneakers or whatever they're holding. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Welcome to the podcast, kicking it off. If you guys have any questions, I can do some Q&A episodes or segments, and go from there. So if you have Instagram or TikTok, follow me on there. Subscribe here if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. And that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode. Keep on trucking.